Returning now to a Sun News exclusive, a Toronto teacher says he and his family have become targets of teen thugs. Mike Greer says his home's been terrorized after he tried to reason with a group of unruly teens in his neighborhood. Toronto Sun reporter Chris Doucette joins us live via Skype from Toronto with the latest on your exclusive story. And what a story it reads. This is a guy who lived in this neighborhood, or bought in this neighborhood, to give his family a safe and better life. He and his wife have now become the targets of a group of teens, he says, who smoke dope by his place. They fight, and now they've taken it to his home.
Yeah, Alex, all he ever wanted was for these teenagers to sort of move elsewhere so that they're not smoking pot right sort of underneath his children's bedroom windows. And instead, he's got thousands of dollars worth of damage to his property, to his vehicles, and most recently he had his property firebombed. Someone actually threw a Molotov cocktail at his house. Luckily, it didn't catch. It went out. But he's now living in fear to the point where he's sleeping in his car every night trying to protect his family. And he's putting up with threats daily almost as he passes these teenagers on the street. It's unbelievable.
And he's gone to the police, I would think, a couple of times. What are they saying other than there's not much they can do? I mean, I find that incredulous.
Well, they have to, I guess, with a lot of this stuff, they have to catch the kids in the act. So if they come and investigate kids smoking pot behind the school and the kids throw their dope over a fence, well, then there's not a lot they can do but ask them to move on.
Right.
They are investigating the firebombing. I'm told that they collected some evidence from the scene, which I assume was the Perrier bottle that was filled with the accelerant in the rag. Mm-hmm. And they say that they are awaiting forensic testing on that and waiting for the results of those tests. So maybe something will come of that.
You know, I understand that they can't just go out and arrest people without evidence, but certainly they have undercover officers or people that could hang out in the neighborhood and see if they can catch these guys in the act. Because clearly he's had to put up cameras to be able to catch the actions going on.
He's even actually looked into hiring private security at a cost of $1,300 a day, which is, it's just not realistic for him. But and again, because he doesn't know if is it going to be one night, is it going to be 5 nights? And it's the same sort of thing with the police. I mean, they've stepped up their patrols, they say, in the area, but, this is happening at all hours of the day and night, and you never know exactly when it's going to happen. So it's not easy. It's not just as simple as, driving by and seeing the teenagers in the act.
Yeah, and I understand some of the other neighbors also feel like they're being held hostage by this same kind of violence. Where are the parents of these kids? Are they speaking up?
Not at this point, but that was the hope. Mr. Greer had taken pictures of some of these kids. Some of them, you see how bold they are, flipping him the double bird right in his face. And the hope was he was going to try and get those pictures out there, maybe put up a poster with the pictures and see if the parents would come forward and take responsibility for their kids. Maybe they don't know what their kids are up to. Maybe they do. But, hopefully, maybe they don't, and hopefully they would step up to the plate and take care of their kids.
Well, Chris, you and I both know how youth laws work in this country, and sadly he'd be the one to get in trouble if he were to do something like that, even though he should have full rights to get the word out there about these kids. But if they're stupid enough to wave the finger in his face to a lens, maybe we should warn them that that kind of stuff can be used as evidence in court, if in fact they are ever caught.
Yeah, that's right. He said flat out, like a lot of us in that situation, he'd like to take the law into your own hands. He's a teacher.
Yeah.
He would lose his job. So there's a lot at stake for him.
Okay, and quickly before we let you go, the school board, clearly they've now become involved in this?
Well, to a point, it's the difficulty here. If this was your next door neighbor having all sorts of parties, you could call the police and somebody would be ticketed, fined, whatever. In this case, it's the school board that's his neighbor. They've I guess, added or improved lighting on the one side of the school where the problem was. They've added a gate to stop the kids from driving into the parking lot where they would all sort of congregate in their cars, sell drugs, do drugs, drink, party, fight. The one thing that one of the neighbors suggested to me, and as far as I I know hasn't been considered was if they put cameras along the roof of the school, at least on that side, or maybe all around the school. This school has no cameras. If they had cameras, maybe the kids would be less likely to go onto the property.
Yeah, or if you get evidence of them smoking dope, well, maybe they could lay some charges. Well, we'll keep on this story. I don't think we've heard the last of this. I sure hope that no one in his family, let alone anyone in that neighborhood, is harmed by any of these foolish pranks. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens with this one. Thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you, Alex.
That was Toronto Sun reporter Chris Doucette joining us live via Skype with this exclusive.